I am very pleased to introduce today's keynote speaker, President of the Legal Services Corporation, Jim Sandman. He's been president of LSC since 2011. Before that, President Sandman practiced law with Arnold & Porter for 30 years and served as that firm's managing partner for a decade. He is a past president of the District of Columbia Bar Association and former general counsel for the DC Public Schools. President Sandman is a graduate of Boston College and received his law degree cum laude from the University of Pennsylvania. He is a current and past member and chair of many boards, committees, and commissions, including several dedicated to civil legal aid and pro bono. He has received numerous awards for his commitment to access to justice. President Sandman?
Thank you, Elizabeth. I want to start by telling you how special you are. Oregon is something special. I live and work in Washington, D.C., the city that has more lawyers per capita than any city on the face of the earth. God bless them, every one. You can't swing a dead cat in Washington without hitting a lawyer. It would be an accomplishment in Washington, D.C., to pull together as many people as you have in this room today. I think it says something extraordinary about the commitment in your state to justice, to equal justice, the breadth of the commitment, not only the number of people here, but who is here. Your Chief Justice, so many judges, your Attorney General, people from the business community, congratulations. You're doing something really well here. 5 days a week across Oregon, 204 people go to work at legal aid programs, among them 116 lawyers. They work from 17 offices, serving all 36 counties in the state. Last year, they served 28,500 people. More important than the numbers, though, is the impact they have on the lives of the people they serve. Their impact is profound. The cases they handle involve their clients' physical safety, the stability of their families, the roofs over their heads. Their stories are like those of Clara and her young son Diego, told on page 3 of the program for today's lunch. They make a difference in the lives of their clients. Their working conditions are hard. It's hard to be a legal aid lawyer. They carry crushing caseloads. They labor under the emotional burden of their clients' circumstances. Legal aid lawyers as a group are the lowest paid attorneys in the profession. They have to cope with the uncertainty of precarious funding. They're always underfunded, and they have to deal with the heartache of knowing how many people they can't serve. Only 15% of the needs in Oregon are able to be met now. This is a national phenomenon, not just in Oregon. Funding for the Legal Services Corporation, which is the country's largest single funder of civil legal aid, and whose money comes from an annual congressional appropriation, amounts to less than what Americans spend every year on Halloween costumes for their pets. Notwithstanding these challenges and these burdens, legal aid lawyers do what they do with a professionalism, a commitment, a passion, and an excellence that is astonishing. They exemplify the very best of the legal profession, and they exemplify something else. They exemplify the highest of American values. In the pantheon of American values, there is none higher than justice. It is a value as old as the Republic itself, older even. The passengers on the Mayflower, before they disembarked in Massachusetts, covenanted and combined themselves, as they put it in the Mayflower Compact, to enact, constitute, and frame just and equal laws. That concept of justice and equality was repeated over and over again 167 years later when the framers of our Constitution gathered to form our national government. Alexander Hamilton, who's kind of popular these days, said, "The first duty of society is justice." Thomas Jefferson said, "The most sacred of the duties of government is to do equal and impartial justice to all its citizens." James Madison, in Federalist number 51, said, "Justice is the end of government. It is the end of civil society. It ever has been and ever will be pursued until it be obtained, or until liberty be lost in the pursuit." The very first line of the Constitution cites justice as a core purpose of our national government. The first line of the Constitution reads, "We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice." I think that's fascinating. The framers cited establishing justice as their goal before they mentioned providing for the common defense or ensuring domestic tranquility. I don't think their ordering was an accident. I think they recognized that a workable, accessible, effective system of justice is essential to societal stability. It's about the rule of law. You won't long have a nation to defend or worth defending without it. This is what the great Judge Learned Hand meant when he said in addressing the Legal Aid Society of New York in 1951, "If we are to keep our democracy, there must be one commandment: thou shalt not ration justice." You can find this value expressed over and over again throughout American history. From the inscription on the pediment of the Supreme Court building, "Equal justice under law," to the closing words of the Pledge of Allegiance. The message of the framers could not have been clearer. Justice is a right. It is not a privilege. Justice is not charity. What legal aid lawyers do is to give their clients faith that our nation's solemn pledge of justice for all is a lie and true, and not a cruel illusion or a historical artifact. They give their clients hope that they can get a fair shake in our justice system. They do more than just address their clients' temporal needs. They nourish spirits and souls. I think they're heroes. I think they're patriots. They exemplify the very best of American values. I came late in my career to what for most legal aid lawyers has been their life's work. I spent 30 years in a big law firm. But eventually I came to realize that the lawyers I admire and respect the most, the ones I wished I was like, were those who were devoting themselves full-time to the service of others and not dabbling in it as a kind of extracurricular activity in the way I felt that I was. So I decided to join them. I was inspired by legal aid lawyers. I'll never be a Janice Morgan. I'll never be able to say that I devoted the entirety of my career to the service of others. But you know, better late than never. And there are a lot of ways we can all contribute, even if we don't have the virtue of people like Janice. We can do it by doing pro bono work. We can do it by late career transitions. We can do it by giving money. There are lots of ways to support legal aid lawyers in their mission of faith and hope. The theme of your campaign, which raised $1,342,000, was "I Am Legal Aid." And the theme of today's lunch is, we are legal aid. All of us. Even if we're not a full-time legal aid lawyer, we can support people like Janice. We can do our part. We can come together to validate their work, thank them for what they do. That's what you all do today, by your presence. So I have an ask. I'm astounded by the number of people in this room. If you could all just bring one friend next year, I'm sure you'd have to move, but it would be worth it. We need to spread the word and to get more people involved with the commitment that you evidence so impressively. We are legal aid. Thank you.